Hi everyone, you're very welcome back to the Justice for Aaron Brady campaign. Now I know in our previous 4 videos we dissected a phone conversation I had with Ronan Flynn, and we were due to move on from that on to another aspect of the criminality by An Garda Síochána and the DPP here in Ireland. But very early on Friday morning last, we received some more documents that have proven beyond doubt anyway that there was shenanigans and illegal activities with Ronan Flynn's extradition warrant and the communication between An Garda Síochána here and Homeland Security in America. But more official documents and emails have come into our possession, and I just want to go over them again to make sure that everyone is fully aware of how brutally criminal this whole investigation was and is. And I hope when we see these documents here and the actions of Mark Phillips and Paul Gill, that Ronan Flynn and his family will see how Ronan was set up to be put in the centre of this whole whirlwind that the Flynn family find themselves in. Nothing got to do with the Bradys, nothing to doing of the Brady family or the Brady campaign that has drawn Ronan Flynn in here. It is particularly Mark Phillips, and it is particularly Garda Paul Gill, who set Ronan up just like a turkey 2 weeks into December. Set him up perfectly. So we have covered this document before, multi-page document. It's an affidavit by Aaron's initial solicitor, Neil Manley, when there was requests made for information into the interactions between An Garda Síochána with the witnesses in America. And that interactions was overseen by Homeland Security, and in particular, Agent Matt Katsky, whom we've covered on numerous occasions. And those of you following Aaron's campaign know the name Matt Katsky. So it's this request here, and there was a request for information about Morton, about Maguire, Molly Staunton, and obviously Ronan Flynn. And Mark Phillips, Senior Investigating Officer Mark Phillips, this man here, who told a tissue of lies in the 15th of April 24, on the 28th of April 25, and I had to get a new sticker for it now for last Friday, which was, Friday? The 23rd of May 2025. Told a tissue of lies again to try and prevent James Flynn from getting bail. So this is Mark Phillips' response. So Neil Manley sent in the affidavit, signed affidavit, so everything is sworn on this document. And this is Mark Phillips' response. Now, very quickly, just to give, I'll do it this way. The new documents we've come in possession of. Number 1 is emails that involve our intrepid friend, Mr. Matt Katsky from Homeland Security. You can see it there. See his name at the very top. And the subject is Ronan Flynn. The date, very, very important here, the 11th of September 2017. And this is from Pat Murray, the Senior Investigating Officer, in September 2017. Hey Matt, hope all is good. Hope you had a good weekend. Please find attached some material concerning Ronan Flynn. I have to attach the extradition warrant and the court order about his drugs case. I will forward them as soon as I can, but the attached should assist at present. And the day before, Paul Gill sent to Pat Murray this message. Please find copy of Book of Evidence in respect of Ronan Flynn for the assault on Tommy Eccles. DPP directions are also attached. There is an extradition warrant in existence for Ronan Flynn. I will contact the extradition section on Monday the 11th of September to see what the position is with same. On a separate issue, Ronan was arrested on the 26th of July 2010 for the following offence: possession of drugs for the purpose of sale and supply. That's what's known as drug dealing. Section 15 and 27 of the Misuse of Drugs Act 1997. He was before the Dundalk District Court on 13th of July 2011, where he received the benefit of the Probation Act. As a result, he has no recorded conviction. I have requested a certified copy of this form from the court, and it is expected in the coming days. Statement of his arrest is also attached, and I think we can just have a quick look at that there. Yeah. I'm a member of Garda Síochána. You can see that the evidence of Paul Gill. That's very important because Paul Gill arrested Ronan on the 7th of the 9th, 2010. And Paul Gill is in the back of the SUV with Ronan in handcuffs in 2017. Okay, so that just confirms that happened. And we also have, let's see, what have I tagged here? Yes, and this is the charges at Dundalk Court. Director of DPP at the suit of Garda Paul Gill. So it was Paul Gill who took Ronan to court, and that District Court number 6 on the 26th of the 7th, 2010 at Moneymore Grove Road, Carlingford, in said district, had unlawfully in your possession a controlled drug with cannabis herb to the value of €245. Okay, so that confirms we have, I think we have shown the newspaper report on the drugs charges and the assault, but there's the official documents in relation to the existence of the extradition warrant and the drugs charges that Ronan found himself with. And I'll come back to that. I'll come back to number 4 in a second of the new information. So this is Mark Phillips, his take on the this is Mark Phillips's take, and this is Mark Phillips' sworn affidavit. He signed it here. Sorry, just let me get to the last page. I'm showing you this again. Anyway. There you are, Mark. You've signed it. Take it up there. That's the last page, just to confirm that you've signed this, Phillips. It is a sworn affidavit. Right, so it's you can see, I'll just point out to it there, the DPP vs. Aaron Brady bill number, report regarding witnesses interviewed by members from the Garda investigation team in the US, and this is in relation to Ronan Flynn. So Phillips done a little report on all the criminals they were doing deals with in America. And you can see there on a number of occasions it was necessary for members of the Garda investigation team to travel to the United States to conduct inquiries, including conducting interviews with persons. So there were several jollies of trips over to America for our boys in blue from Dundalk, and they made the most of all those trips, I'm led to believe. So this is page 2, as you can see. I have gone through these in quite some detail on previous videos, so just going to go down to the bottom paragraph here. Very, very important. In October 2017, members of Garda's investigation team travelled to the United States to conduct a number of investigative tasks. These tasks included the interview of Ronan Flynn, if he agreed to same. On arrival in New York, Inspector Phillips was made aware that inquiries by Homeland Security investigations had discovered an immigration issue with Ronan Flynn, and that there was a warrant for his arrest to investigate this immigration issue forward. So, if I can put this up here, we know from the emails between Paul Gill, Pat Murray, and Agent Katsky that they knew about the extradition warrant on the 10th and 11th of September 2017. Okay, we just put that up there. So 10th and 11th of September 2017. Phillips tells us in this sworn statement that, he just found out. Now, he was travelling with Paul Gill in October 2017. They're on the same flight. So Gill is travelling with Phillips, and obviously they're working out of the Fort Apache incident room in Garda Station in Dundalk. And we're led to believe here that this is some sort of a surprise to Mr. Gill and Mr. Phillips in October that Ronan has a warrant in the United States of America. Now, let's see. Now, this page 4. This is laughable. They've even kicked it down the lane further here. This is the cover Mary's art here. You can see page 4. I'm pointing to that lane. This particular inquiry from the extradition section was assigned by Detective Inspector Mary to Detective Sergeant Reedy. Detective Sergeant Reedy met with the injured party in the case. That's Tommy Eccles there. I couldn't find, I have an unredacted one. I just couldn't find it. On the 2nd of December. Informed Detective Reedy that if Ronan Flynn offered an apology, that they would withdraw the complaint. So this is on the 2nd of December. So there's been 3 months now, a bit of to and froing, and this is where Mary covers himself. Now, we just move up a paragraph here. It's my fault, I slipped past that. On the 21st of November 2017, correspondence was received at Dundalk Garda Station from the Extradition Section, Garda Headquarters, who were in the process of conducting a review of the European arrest warrant. 7 European arrest warrants were attributed to the Garda Division allowed. The Inspector Mary, retired, was assigned to the task to conduct inquiries into the position regarding the warrants. One of these warrants related to Ronan Flynn. This extradition warrant was related to an alleged assault by Ronan Flynn on Tommy Eccles in August 2011. Directions were received from the Director of DPP to prosecute Ronan Flynn on the indictment for the Section 4 offences against the Persons Act. Now, the reason why this is important, again, they're trying to pretend here that they didn't know about the extradition warrant. This just, they found out about Ronan's extradition warrant when it came down from the Dublin in a bunch of 7. But we now know, we'll just go through the dates again, Gill, Katsky and Mary were involved in emails on the 9th and the 10th of September 2017. Members of Garda Síochána in America were surprised to learn about this extradition warrant in October 2017 when they travelled to America. And then they tried to pull the wool over our eyes again, that on the 21st of November, that this extradition warrant for Ronan Flynn arrived in a bunch of 7. So they're trying to pretend they didn't know about the extradition warrant in October. They're trying to pretend they didn't know about the extradition warrant in November. But we know from the emails, they knew all about Ronan's extradition warrant in September. They set you up like a kipper, Ronan. And manipulated the paperwork. They have the extradition warrant to lever you, coerce you, and put pressure on you. There's it there in black and white. The dates are all there to be seen. And then we have gone through this sheet again, that going to and froing with Ronan and correspondence, that the middle paragraph here, the correspondence received from Tommy Eccles on the instructions of his solicitor was forwarded to the Office of the DPP of Prosecution and advised that a statement of withdrawal of his complaint from Tommy Eccles on the 31st of January 2018, and Sergeant Reedy instigated all that. So here we have, they're hiding an extradition warrant, and somehow what put the cat among the pigeons was that someone in Homeland Security had run Ronan through the system and found that Ronan, there was an extradition warrant live for Ronan in October 2017. Gill, Phillips, Mary and Matt Katsky, the American agent, knew about the warrant in September 2017. And then they had to go through the process where tomato-faced Kieran Reedy had to go to the injured party, Tommy Eccles, and for some reason, everyone's entitled to do it, it's a free country, do whatever they like, Tommy Eccles withdrew his complaint against Ronan Flynn for the assault, and the extradition warrant disappeared. So Ronan, you were set up like a kipper. There is no doubt in the world about it. And of course, all this is signed off by Mark Phillips. Now, if Mark Phillips was doing his job correctly and telling the truth, these emails and the details of Ronan Flynn's arrest should have been on that affidavit. So Phillips is withholding information, which is contempt of court, because this is a signed legal document. And finally, we've always said that there was issues with Ronan, that there was another drugs charge in America. We were 100% sure of it. We had no official documents to say as such. I'm not sure if this is the document I seen when I went in by appointment and was arrested for this nonsense of intimidation. Detective Woods showed me some paperwork about Ronan Flynn being arrested in New York for a drugs offence. And lo and behold, we have it here. There we go. There's a wee bit there about Christopher Morton being caught with no insurance, no driving, no number plate offence. But there's Ronan. See the bottom? The reference to an arrest in 2010 did not result in the conviction being recorded. That's the drugs offence where Paul Gill arrested Ronan and he got a probation act, but that's still enough to have him extradited from or deported from America, even that. But here we go. See the last line? Our information regarding the drugs offence in the United States of America is that an indictment is sealed, and moreover, there was no involvement of Homeland Security in this matter. So this was sent to Neil Manley, Aaron's solicitor, by the DPP, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. There's the bottom line. Our information regarding the drug offences in New York. So, as I say, we only got these documents, and there is much more information, other emails, the full statement of and details of Ronan's arrest, and obviously some more court documents in respect of Ronan's court case. So again, you see, as the information comes forward and as more and more detail is given to us, it fits perfectly with our narrative. It fits perfectly with the truth. And again, Mark Phillips signed off on documents that were incorrect, lies, incomplete, contempt of court, perjury, all sorts of criminal activity by this man here. There you are. He signed it. He signed off on it. Now, this beggars, we go quickly into a what-if scenario. We are being blamed and have been accused by this man here of releasing the video clips of Ronan giving a statement, and that this was some way in intimidation. And we are told, and the court was told again on Friday last in James Flynn's bail hearing about the intimidation. You can imagine Ronan Flynn coming as a witness to Aaron's case. The sealed indictment in America, the drugs offences, the immigration, the extradition warrant. And what we had found out in the cross-examination with Daniel Cahill, Molly Staunton was assaulted during her testimony. That he didn't investigate that. And he's wasting everyone's time bringing Aaron back to court for leniency for a case for a tendency to pervert the course of justice. No intimidation, no nothing. And he's accused us on a number of occasions, so we'll have to take our responsibility and take that further. So the what-if situation is, what if Ronan Flynn come to court? Could that man have Ronan Flynn giving evidence? Not on your Nelly, not on your life. And his sidekick and short art, Garda Pádraig Reilly, released the video of Ronan's interviews. Now, we know Aaron admitted to recording the clips of the interviews and sending them to a friend of his. He shouldn't have done that. Wrong. And he was... But when you read all this and you know Aaron sitting in the cell, he knows that Ronan Flynn's statement is a tissue of lies. He knows Ronan Flynn has been coerced. He knows Ronan Flynn has been put under pressure. What would you do? Would you sit down and take it? We have been very patient with these people and kept our counsel to ourselves, and we will do a video on this clown last Friday saying he was intimidated by Caroline Brady because she said the tape was a thorn on their side. He was intimidated by Caroline because Caroline said the tape was laughable. The judge was laughing on Friday. Judge Creedon was actually laughing. And the tape is Matt Katsky. Katsky was offering inducements to Jimmy Flynn in Belfast Airport. Katsky knew about Ronan's extradition warrant. He tried to suppress it, but Homeland Security found it in October 2017. So it's just a little bit more information. We have done quite extensive work on the affidavit that Neil Manley put forward, the affidavit responses by this man here that he signed off on and told a tissue of lies. And if you want the links to those videos, drop us a message and we'll excuse me, we'll send the links to you. But they are there in our library. So thank you for watching. Another piece of the jigsaw that proves every word our campaign is putting out there is the truth. And that's intimidation. Not a wee woman that's 5'2" saying to a man that's 6'3". I don't know who he alleged she said it to, but we're going to go through it. That tape will be a thorn on the side. And the judge didn't allow it in. We had to sit in the court and we knew. We had listened to the tape in the courtroom. Judge Michael White listened to a man being offered inducements. A man who was a suspect being offered inducements. Give us Brady and you'll never hear from us again. It's fucking racking the court we should have been. It's racking the court we should have been. We were more than controlled and more than dignified. More than can be said for these. So there we go. We're moving on. We have, along with these new documents, we got a little bit new video footage of statements. So we're working on that at the moment and we'll bring that to you during the week. So please like, comment and share. The live we released about Jimmy's successful bail hearing on Friday, that live has been very heavily attacked. We're being very heavily suppressed, particularly on Twitter, believe it or not. So the girls have asked me to ask you, please take all the links and pump them out there on Twitter. Get Aaron's story out there. Please, please, please. And we'll see you all in the next video. And take care.